Fully disclaimer, I am not another photography expert in YouTube. I am a coffee roaster and a barista who loves photography. Not too long ago, I just watched two documentaries. The documentary was about what? There were two documentaries. One documentary was about the history of Polaroid, and the second documentary was about the history of Sony Walkman. And it's kind of made me appreciate how much we are privileged, I gotta say, how advanced we are, and we take many things for granted. Like back in the day, when people saw that little photos coming out, like appearing in a piece of paper in 70s or 80s, I mean, can you imagine the surprise in people's eye when they actually see something magically appear on just a piece of paper? I mean, it's a scientific reason behind it, but it's a magical for the majority public like us. Anyway, this video is not about the history or the documentary I've been watching. It's more about two cheap cameras that is actually professionally excellent, not good, excellent even today, even now. We're just past 2022, we are now in 2023, middle of 2023, and even today they are relevant. As I'm pretty sure that you already know what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about two things: Canon 70D, the camera body, and a lens, which is the excellent L lens, a Canon EF 70-40 f4L. So it's an L lens, and those two are excellent for many reasons. Even though for the there are other technology available today, but I really want to talk about it because for the price, you're not going to lose anything. You're gonna gain excellent quality. Now, first thing I'm going to talk about is the lens. This one, I don't know if you can see it. So this is the Canon 17-40 f4L. Now, the reason why I'm going to talk about the lens first is because when I'm going to talk about the camera body, I would like to record the second part of the video with the camera and the lens. Right now I'm recording with my DJI Osmo Pocket. So I'm gonna move on to the Canon 70 when I'm going to talk about the camera body, so that you can see the video quality already while I'm talking about it. So the reason why I'm going to talk about the lens Canon 17-40 f4, first of all, let's admit it, the quality of L lens is unbeatable. When I'm talking about the Canon category, there are also excellent optics from Nikon, Zeiss, Leica, or any other camera manufacturers. But when you're talking about the excellent optics in general, forget about the brand for 1 second. The Canon is the best. The reason why, because they sold the most. So there are many many optics available in the market, because they were number one back in the day, even though they're coming back kind of, but Sony and Fuji rising up in the hybrid quality, but that's a new topic. But because Canon sold so many of them, so many lenses and camera bodies, in the second-hand market is flooded with their old second-hand excellent optics. This is one of them, and for the price, boy oh boy. Now, just to give you an idea how much is it in the second-hand market, I'm looking at the European eBay. It goes as low as 317 euro without the transport. And for 350 euro, you're getting a 17 mm to 40 mm f4 wide angle L lens. It's quite crazy given the fact that the price of the L optics can go as much as 2000, even more than that. And the fact that even though Canon moved to Canon mirrorless, but they do have a dedicated adapter so that it can use your old optics. So which means simply is that even if you have the Canon R, RF or an R5, R3, R, etc., you can use the Canon's dedicated optics, the adapters, and you can use it as if it was part of the camera. So you're not losing much. So if you already have your investment, done your investment on a lot of Canon L lenses, this is it. For the price, this is it. So you can get a Canon mirrorless body, and with the adapter, you can buy a cheaper L lens. You don't need to invest a lot of money on the newer one. And also, don't forget, Canon EF mount is not completely abandoned by Canon. The Blackmagic BMP CC 6K has a dedicated EF mount. Red, I don't know which red though, I have to check. But the red camera do have dedicated EF mount, along with many other Panasonic's dedicated cinema lens cameras do have EF mounts. So when you have EF lenses, you can use them with your Cine cameras as well as with the right adapter with your Sony, with even Canon itself. Of course, and it's perfect lens in a sense of the point of view, field of view, because it is a dedicated wide-angle lens. It's 17mm, pretty wide, can get super distorted, but it stops at 40. I don't like the 24 to 70mm. The reason why, because 24 is quite good, but the next best thing could be 35mm, and then straight to, for me at least, straight to 70. But then again, 70 is not that really far enough. I mean, I wouldn't mind having just a 24 to 50, because 50mm is perfect lens, perfect field of view, very common. 35mm is wide enough, 24 is wide enough. But then kind of 60, 70, I don't know if I ever used it. What I would do perfectly, I would go to dedicated wide-angle lens like that, and straight to something telephoto like 70 to 200, and skip the middle ground. And this is why I do have a setup which is this 70 to 40mm and 17 to 40mm and 70 to 200mm. Autofocus is excellent. Manual override is excellent. I'm going to give you some specs because I'm looking at it right now so that I don't miss too much. So it has excellent optics, consistent result, inexpensive for its class. For an L lens, it's super inexpensive. 350 euros is not that cheap. For L lens, you can sell it again for exact same price. It's well made because it's weather sealed, not the front element though, but it's globally can take some rain. The weight of this lens is about 473 gram. Super light, gotta say. F4 doesn't take a lot of light, true, but if you use the tripod, it's just excellent. It does not have image stabilization, so you have to be very careful. But because it's a wide-angle lens, generally you can take photo with if you are at 17mm, you can use 1/17 of a second up to 1/40 of a second if you're at 40mm. So that's pretty decent for a handheld shots. I've taken many shots even slower shutter speed and got excellent result. Of course, I was very careful. Now, moving on to Canon 70D. So in order to do that video for Canon 70D, I'm gonna move to this body in 3, 2, 1, and there you are. Right now, you are looking at me through Canon 17 to 40mm, and the whole video is recording directly at the Canon 70D. Yes, I mean, I'm not outside doing vlog like Casey Neistat, but I'm pretty sure you've seen many of the very beginning of the Casey Neistat's videos, and you already know that how much he appreciated the Canon 70D. he basically did his daily vlogs with that very camera. Now, of course, let's be honest. I mean, I'm not gonna oversell it because there are a lot better cameras exist today, and it's just gonna get better and better and better. But imagine you really want to do something in your YouTube life, or just creating content for your work, or creating content for anything that needed to be recorded in a high quality. This is it for the budget. My wife works in association for the handicaps and autism, and those guys don't have a lot of money, trust me or not, which is stupid because the government should invest a lot of money on that sector, but they don't have enough money. What they did, they went to the second-hand market and bought one of these, and they do excellent job, high quality, enough to create awareness. And not just for that, if you have a good story, you can do anything you want. Now, before I go to the philosophical part, I'm just going to give you the specs of what the camera is about. First of all, the autofocus is just excellent. Just to give you a proof, I'm gonna go out of the screen. Now, as you can clearly see, it's out of focus and it's searching. Now, what if I just do like that? And I'm pretty sure I'm in focus, right? Yeah, there you go, I'm in focus. Now, I'm gonna put my microphone in between. There you go, but it's still focusing on my face. This is the beauty of dual pixel autofocus. You can move things, and I'm still in focus. Now, if I keep the microphone in front of you, I go far, it's focusing on that. But if I come back, and I'm in focus again. Right, so I'm gonna come back to my place. Now, again, I'm in focus. Now, this is the beauty of it. Imagine a Canon 70D from 10 years ago. I think more than 10. I can easily say 11. I don't know, it's more than 10, a decade. And this is the focus you get today. You can buy it for €250 or $250 or even cheaper, because people are just getting rid of them. And you can use it for whatever. And if you pop in 18 to 55 mm, you are good to go. You just need good lights. I'm using artificial lights like this one, for example. Only thing you need, good light, good audio, a good story, you are solid. Now, what about the specs? What this camera body provides you other than excellent dual pixel autofocus? What it does, it has a pixel of 20 megapixel. Now, 20 megapixel, you might be saying that now you have cameras with even, I don't know, even 50 megapixel. Ask yourself, if you are going to put that in your website, I think it's it's not wise to upload a 50 megapixel images, because at the end of the day, you don't have enough bandwidth to actually put them in the website, because it's just too big. So you need to shrink it. And for shrinking it, your 50 megapixel doesn't really count, because it's just gonna be this tiny little size. You know what I mean? So 20 megapixel is sufficient. Even a bigger picture right here, like you can fill up this empty space with 20 megapixel images, high quality. Trust me, I did that. So 20 megapixel is plenty enough. Now there are softwares like Topaz or On1 Resize or Photoshop Super Resolution to extend the pixels so that it can print high quality images. So don't worry. I mean, it just gives you solid color. ISO is 100 to 12,800. You can extend to 25,600. I mean, I don't do that. Number of autofocus is 19. AF in live view as we speak. Viewfinder is 98% coverage. continuous photo is 7 frames per second, which is pretty solid. The storage is SD, SDHC, and SDHC. I'm currently running it in SD, which is working solidly. Weight is about 755 grams, which is not that light, but neither that heavy either. And it has a Wi-Fi connection so that you can transfer directly with the Canon app. Listen to me. I'm not gonna go more than that. What I'm trying to say is that with the budget, this camera is peanuts. It proved to be a solid camera even for video makers like Casey Neistat. Only thing he did is creating good stories. He had good stories. He put everything in auto mode and he ran everywhere with his little Gorilla Joby tripod thingy, and that's it. So my recommendation, go for it with the camera. If it costs about 250 euro and the lens is cost about 350 euro without delivery, for about 600 euro, you're getting a top class camera for your professional and personal work. In the studio like that, this is a good investment. You don't need more than that. Yeah, 600 euro is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, I know that. But that out of that 600 euro, 350 is going to the glass, which is more important, and you can sell it for exact same price. And in future, when you need a second camera with the right adapter, you can continue to use this lens and your camera body can work on the side. So I hope I covered enough regarding the lens and the camera. I hope this video helped you. If so, continue to support me via going to the link in the description. Until then, look after yourself and bye-bye.